Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 AP English, the Roberts Lectures. We are in the Poetry Unit and we now look to Christina Rossetti's A Christmas Carol, her 1872 offering on page 736. Now Rossetti was born the 5th of December in 1830 and dies the 29th of December 1894. She is a great English poet. She wrote very romantic and devotional, we'll see some of that here, profoundly Christian devotional poetry, as well as great children's poems. Her Goblin Market and Remember are two still of her most best remembered poems. We're going to look at now A Christmas Carol, and we're going to pay attention at 2B, the rhetorical level, to the rhythms that are quite profound here, as well as the rhetorical question that will come at the conclusion. A Christmas Carol. In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow in the bleak midwinter, long ago. Our God, heaven cannot hold him, nor earth sustain. Heaven and earth shall flee away when he comes to reign. In the bleak midwinter, a stable place sufficed, the Lord God Almighty, Jesus Christ. Enough for him whom cherubim worship night and day, a breast full of milk and a manger full of hay. Enough for him whom angels fall down before, the ox and ass and camel which adore. Angels and archangels may have gathered there, cherubim and seraphim thronged the air, but only his mother, in her maiden bliss, worshipped the beloved with a kiss. What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what I can, I give him. Give my heart. Well, obviously devotional, profoundly Christian poem. Obviously, notice we're working in this motif of midwinter. It's nasty cold, and yet warm in the manger. And there, of course, we have the Mother Mary, who is tending to her child, blessing the beloved with a kiss. And then finally the last stanza and the rhetorical question, what can I give him? Those of you who know, of course, your Christmas carols know about Little Drummer Boy and all of that. What can I give him, poor as I am? This sounding very much like the language of Blake's Songs of Innocence, the little lamb who made thee, dost thou know who made thee? You can see that lecture at learnstrong.net as well. And then finally, what is it that one can give? That is to say, what's the ultimate sacrifice to give of one's heart, to give of one's worship, one's respect? At 2A, obviously here, this is that Christmas, the major message here is that Christmas is a time to be reminded of that which we give, of that which we sacrifice or we give up in some kind of awe or reverence or worship. At 2B again, notice the rhythms and the repetitions. Notice it's at line 5 and 6. It's snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. You might ask, why is it that it's being repeated here? Well, that is to say, to emphasize that we are in the bleak midwinter. It's nasty cold outside, and yet this is the time when Christ is born, according to the stories, right? Notice as well at 2B we have references, at 3A, we have references as well. At line 35, we're referencing, of course, this, if I were a shepherd, I'd bring a lamb. This is from the book of Luke, chapter 2, verses 8 through 20, as well as a few lines later, if I were a wise man. Of course, the Magi we're familiar with. Matthew 2, verses 1 through 12 is being referenced here as well. And of course, other Christian poems come to mind. I mentioned Blake's Lamb, Little Lamb, I'll tell thee, for he is called by thy name, and he is called a lamb. As well as St. Augustine's Confessions comes to mind. You can go back and take a look at our comments on St. Augustine's and Confessions at learnstrong.net. And then, of course, at 3A, we can also relate Dickens' A Christmas Carol to this text as well. Finally, at 3B, to try to relate to this somehow personally, what are your thoughts about the Christmas season and the idea of giving and the importance of learning to give, and to give of what one really constitutes as most important, one's self, one's awe, one's reverence? Is it in fact true that Christmas is a time when humility is again emphasized? And what are your thoughts about that in regards to the importance of humility? Life does send certain kinds of chaotic moments which seem to humble us. We think of T.S. Eliot's in Four Quartets, East Coker, the only wisdom we can hope to acquire is the wisdom of humility. Humility is endless. Christina Rossetti's classic Christmas Carol. I hope that this one will lead you to maybe more of her poems as well. And of course, looking forward to the next Christmas season. Thank you.